Penny, who is this man you've brought with you? He's very handsome, but he's dressed in rags. Come on, Brenda, let's not do this again. His name is Kevin, and we're in the same class at the School for the Healing Arts. I invited him here to prepare an herbal med for Mackenzie. The med that Mackenzie needs would be difficult for a master apothecary to create, let alone some ordinary person. They couldn't believe that this young man dressed in shabby clothes would be able to do something so specialized. Don't worry, my good friend Mackenzie needs a blood balance pill. Can you create one for her? The blood balance pill is used for someone who's been injured. It seems to me that she's doing fine right now. Is there some other reason you've chosen it? Well, Kevin, Mackenzie's been training since she was a child. Her family is really into it and they know a lot about herbal meds. The problem is she has a really hard time with unbearable pain once a month. If her problem is what you describe, the blood balance pill can only cure the symptoms, not the root cause. Oh, you mean you have a better way? I think he's trying to trick you, Penny. You should just show him the door. Have you ever heard of the repair pill? The repair pill was only a myth as far as they were concerned. It hadn't been used in a ridiculously long time, and the closest thing to it was strictly controlled by the Herbalist Society. Can you actually make a repair pill? I'm sure I can do it. Only I have one condition. If I make the repair pill, then Mackenzie has to apologize for underestimating me. The rest of the women frowned at Kevin's demand. After all, Mackenzie was a very important person, not someone to trifle with like that. Okay, I promise. As long as you can make the repair pill, you'll get what you want. As soon as he entered the basement, Kevin was stunned. There were loads of medicinal materials on the mahogany shelves along the walls. More than an hour later, Kevin took the lid off of the preparation bowl and removed a handful of pills. Yes, these look good to me. Kevin proudly looked at the pills he'd just made and grinned broadly. Suddenly, his body tensed up. He turned around and took a few steps backwards when he saw a dark figure walk up behind him. Who are you? Trust me. I'm just here to help Penny out. Let me invite you to come with me. The party? Kevin suddenly thought of something. Wasn't today the Alliance leader's birthday? I've offended the Alliance messenger. The person suddenly moved toward Kevin. Kevin stepped forward too, and they both collided in an explosion of energy. What's going on? Was there an explosion? Calm down. It's not an earthquake. It's something else. And it sounds like it's coming from the basement. Kevin ran away? I told you he was lying to you, Penny. No, it's something else. There was a fight down here. She was the most skilled fighter in the group. If anything happened, it would be up to her to protect her friends. But where's Kevin? Madam Director, I've brought Kevin back like you asked. Madam Director, if you have something to tell me, just go ahead and say it. But I don't think I need to be tied up like this. Have I done something wrong? She quickly sliced off the ropes around Kevin's wrists and ankles. What I'd like to know is how things are going with your mission. It's been a long time and I haven't had a report from you. I've been doing my best to carry out the mission you gave me so I can repay you for all that you've done for me. But it's been impossible to track down the consolidation technique. And I've had a lot of serious fights and injuries. Go downstairs. After the leader's birthday party, the guests weren't in a hurry to leave. I think Kevin is just what we need right now. He's still young, but he has a lot of potential. And he did rescue our administrator candidates from Bread Steward of the Myriads. Besides, he's already a skilled herbalist and the Night King is mentoring him. I think he'll lead the Alliance to great things. The director smiled and looked at Kevin. Oh, is he studying with the Night King? The Alliance leader seemed shocked. It seems that our new messenger is full of surprises. He didn't know it, but Kevin had an even bigger surprise in store for him. As Kevin sat down next to the Alliance leader, it became obvious that the other senior members were jealous of him. They were very worried because instead of stripping Kevin of his title for being late to his party, their leader seemed to be impressed with him. In fact, he was praising Kevin for his accomplishments. It looked like Kevin's position was even more stable than before.
Kevin, I'm so happy that you were able to make it to my party. We missed you at our headquarters yesterday.
Sir, the reason why I didn't return to the headquarters yesterday is that I made a pill for you. Kevin stood up and held out his hand. This is called the Unity Pill. This can actually replace every cell in your body.
Fantastic.
The Alliance leader gratefully offered Kevin a glass of wine and poured it himself.
Did you find out anything more about consolidation?
To tell you the truth, I spent a lot of time on it last night and didn't find anything useful.
So I guess we're out of luck.
Don't worry about it, sir. Do we really need to find out this secret method? What he said is very true. You really shouldn't worry about it too much. You're still our leader. Long live our great leader. Sir, I wonder if you could let me take a look at the book.
Just because you gave me an herbal med doesn't mean that you can breach etiquette.
Please calm down. Kevin has only been with us for a short time. You have to forgive him. How could we explain it to the Night King if we punished him for this? Kevin leaned forward. There's something that you may not know. While your experts may be very good at appraising antiques, I think there's something wrong with the book on consolidation that you were given.
Nonsense. The book was a gift from the Herbalist Society. What's wrong with it?
Sir, could you just please let me see it up close before I say anything more?
I'll give you just one chance. If you're right, I'll reward you generously. If not, even the Night King won't be able to save you.
Kevin pulled out a tiny black object from the binding of the book. The Alliance leader took a moment to focus, and then he could clearly see the camera, along with a tiny hole in the book's cover. If Kevin had really found a spy camera, that meant that the Herbalist Society had intended to watch all of the Alliance's activities and hear all of their secret plans.
From now on, you'll have free run of the headquarters property, and I'll allow you to attend any discussions we have.
As things started to wind down, the Alliance leader asked Kevin to follow him into one of the side rooms.
Kevin, this is an ultra-advanced type of body armor that we're developing. As long as you have it on, you'll be invulnerable to any weapons, even heat. Think of it as a token of my gratitude for exposing the Herbalist Society's treachery.
I'll do everything I can to help you in the Alliance, no matter what it costs me. After a few hours, Kevin arrived in New York City. The hospital was full of Williams family members. There were also a lot of influential politicians and members of the business world who were there to visit with Randall Williams, Kevin's grandfather. But everyone was still puzzled about how he'd suddenly fallen ill. It seems that he had probably been poisoned, not in a single dose, but over a long period of time. Grandpa Williams lay in his hospital bed, very lethargic and looking gaunt. His skin was an odd bluish-purple color. All the senior members of the Williams family were at his bedside looking extremely somber. They would be lost without Randall.
Thomas, did you call Kevin? Don't worry, Father. I've told him.
Even though Kevin had angered the entire family, he was still his grandson after all, and he still wanted to see him before he died. I don't understand, Dad. Why did you call Kevin to come here? He's been banished from the family.
Let's change the subject, Laura. Dad wants to see his grandson one last time. Who are we to stop him?
As for Randall's poisoning, Thomas had a few suspicions, but since he still didn't have any evidence, he kept acting like he was clueless. As soon as Kevin entered the hospital, he attracted a lot of attention. But he wasn't in the mood to say hello to anyone. He stopped by the front desk to ask which room his grandfather was in, and then he walked up the stairs. Some of the people who were waiting in the lobby recognized him and started to whisper to each other.
Kevin, you have a lot of nerve coming here,
one of his relatives sneered.
Get out of here right now,
another one shouted. Hey, Uncle Thomas called and asked me to come. I'm here to see my grandfather, not you.
In spite of everything, Kevin is a member of the Williams family. It's only right for him to see his grandfather one last time.
Then he looked at his nephew and sighed heavily.
Grandpa isn't awake right now. Have a seat at his bedside and wait for him to wake up again.
Kevin nodded his head in agreement and walked over to the bed.
Step outside with me.
Thomas glared at Laura and the two of them left the room.
Maybe you haven't been in direct contact with Dad all these years, but you're the one who plans everything in the family.
Thomas hesitated for a moment before he got to the point.
I had my suspicions, but when Kevin showed up in the room, you gave away some clues.
You figured it out. I found someone to poison Randall. Hannah never went home, and I'm the one who made sure of that. Now Monty hates Kevin, and Kevin never embezzled the family's funds. I found someone to forge the evidence to make it look like he'd been funneling money from the family's accounts. There you have it. It was me.
But why did you do all that? Kevin's your own nephew.
If I hadn't done this, Kevin would have ended up running the family's businesses, and we'd have lost everything. While this was happening, Kevin was sitting next to his grandfather's bed looking very sad. Just rest and get better, Grandpa. Kevin didn't know what else to say. A few minutes later, a nurse ran in. Mr. Williams' blood is full of toxins. We can give him a transfusion to clear them out. But I want to emphasize that this procedure involves a lot of risk. If either Mr. Randall or the person who gives him the transfusion isn't in good enough health, they could die. The donor could even suffer health problems for the rest of their lives. All the family members in the room and out in the corridor heard this, and their faces turned grim. Why should they risk themselves just for him? They were all incredibly selfish. When Kevin saw everyone's reaction, he was disappointed in his relatives. How could they call themselves the protectors of the family? They owed everything to his grandfather's efforts over the years, and they'd be nothing without him. It looked like it would all be up to Kevin now.
Hi, Kevin here. If you're wondering what happens next, then stay tuned on the Pocket FM Universe channel for more episodes.